You to take little teeny dosages of everything, or you wouldn't get sick and it would heal you. So they thought that if you took little dosages of this, it would.
It's not Confederate gray, is that?
Well, it's actually this uniform was originally this color.
Okay.
It's dyed in logwood dye or sumac dye,
Mm-hmm.
and when it gets out into the sun, it fades to kind of a brownish color.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a lot of times where the terminology Confederates would be dressed in butternut brown. They weren't issued brown uniforms.
Okay.
And John Bell Wiley says Grandma was at home crushing up walnut bark to make dye. That's a really laborious process. But really, what had happened was the uniforms were dyed in natural fibers like sumac or logwood, and they would fade to this lovely shade of brown in the sunlight. And it wouldn't take long for it to fade, probably a good month or two in the sun. It fades.
Wow.
But you can see the difference in the color from what this was to what it is now. It's tremendous. And here, when they're marching four abreast, this is called marching by the flank. This is a flank march. And so you can march men in columns of twos or columns of fours.
Interesting.
You gotta show us what the field is when we get there.
Yeah, I was going to say, right shoulder shift, arm. I want to welcome you all here to Appomattox. We're glad you came out to see us this weekend. We've got the Palmetto Battalion from South Carolina, and these soldiers are going to demonstrate how the rifle was used in battle. They're going to march around and show you some of the formations that they used in battle. We also have a bugler, so you'll see how they would relay messages with music.
Battlefield situation, the first thing you would do, you would deploy a company or a battalion of skirmishers. The purpose of skirmishers are to feel out the enemy before you, their strength, and also to see how many they are and their response. So that's the first thing we're going to do.
As skirmishers, deploying by the right and left flank. Take intervals. March!
Spread your men out, and each man has a file partner, and they would alternate fire depending on when their file partner would fire. One man's always loaded.
Forward! March!
When they're finished, you can walk out.
Nice and easy.
Commit firing.
Covering targets to the rear. Forward! Halt! It's when you leapfrog. Keep firing. Work with your ball blade. Rally on the right file.
Recall.
Rally!
All right, the next firing will be fired by battalion. It'll be a volley. If the enemy was at that tree line, go ahead and commit firing. We're going to do it anyway. So they were coming out. All right, they're firing by file. When they fire by file, each file will fire, and then once they fired, they would start reloading immediately, and then they would fire at will to keep the fire upon the enemy constant. That way, nobody, you're not caught. We call it caught naked, with everybody not loaded. Normally, you would open up with a volley because you could recover and load before the enemy could get back on top of you. But the volley was concentrated fire like the British did back in, and the Americans did too, back in the Revolutionary War. That would have been a volley.
Is that an old pastime game?
No liquor for soldiers.
Sergeant Major was looking in there at a woman.
I think she'd rather be sleeping with a dog than you.
I don't worry about that sleeping.